is 30 days of family dinners on a budget.
Yum.
I find it really satisfying home cooking and saving money by not eating out, and this comforting cottage pie is the perfect way to end a long busy day. It serves at least 6 people and comes in at less than $5 a serve. I buy lots of in-season vegetables, grate them and cook them down with the beef mince so that they melt into the most delicious yet simple gravy. While the pie filling cooks, I get onto the mashed potato and I'm cutting the potatoes up into small cubes, adding them to boiling water and then finishing with butter, warm milk and salt. I top the pie with the creamy mashed potatoes and then bake until crisp and golden. Leftovers can be frozen. You will love this one.
If you think chicken and rice is boring and bland, you have to try making this Nando's copycat peri peri chicken and rice. Also, did I mention it's a one-pan recipe, so cleanup is super easy. Start up by marinating the chicken thighs in some olive oil, chili powder, garlic powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, cumin, and salt. Sear it in a pan on both sides, and then you're going to baste it with some medium peri peri sauce if you don't like it too spicy. To the same pan, add some butter and then saute some garlic, red bell pepper, and tomato paste. Toast the rice, and then you're going to add your chicken broth along with a bunch more spices. Cover to let it cook to perfection, and then we're going to add our peas and cilantro and mix that all together. Finally, add the chicken back on top, and all that's left to do now is enjoy.
What's something that you can eat every single day and not get tired of? And I'm not talking about something that you eat sometimes that you just love. Like, I'm talking about something that you're disgustingly obsessed with and that you could actually eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and never get sick of and never want anything else to eat except for this exact item.
This is Japanese atsu curry, the perfect bite. We need thick cut potatoes, carrots, and onions. When lightly caramelized, cover in hot water. When tender, toss in your curry cubes. And to bring this together, I like to add coconut milk. In the meantime, pound down some chicken breast. To a couple eggs, introduce some flour. Season it down and mix. The chicken meets its children. And then straight into some panko breadcrumbs. Beautifully hot oil set at 350. Just introduce the chicken to the hot tub. You must serve this next to a bed of rice. I like the curry on the side. And just top it with the crispy katsu. And as always, now bismillah. That is ridiculous. One of my favorite meals all time.
This has become a new favorite at our place, fast and easy chicken gyros. The marinade is paprika, oregano, salt, pepper, garlic, the zest and juice of 1 lemon, olive oil, and then I'm cooking with a splash of water. It's so simple yet packed with flavor. And then to serve, I'm wrapping it up with tzatziki, tomato, onion, olives, and parsley. Save this one for your next dinner in.
Today's recipe is this creamy garlic sauce with chicken and potatoes. So start by parboiling your potatoes whole, then you're just going to add them into an oven-proof dish, seasoned with paprika, garlic, parsley and salt and pepper. Then you're going to fry off your chicken. I've layered it in a very, very light layer of flour. Then fry off your chicken until it's cooked on both sides and through. Fry off some onions, add in your seasonings. I've listed them here. Then you're going to add in a small bit of vegetable stock. You can use chicken stock preferably, but I only had vegetable stock. Add some cream, then spinach. Then you're going to add more vegetable stock, more cream, and some grated mozzarella to thicken the sauce up. Once the sauce has thickened, you're going to add back in your cooked chicken breasts, top with parsley, and that's it. Then you're going to remove your potatoes from the oven and serve and enjoy. This is perfect for meal prep and super tasty.
This is my chicken Alfredo recipe. It's creamy and dreamy and an Italian nightmare. For this recipe, we're going to be using some chicken breast cutlets. You don't have to use the cutlets, I just like how they're nice and thin. Whenever I'm making a heavier pasta, I always like to pair it with a lean cut of protein. In a bowl, combine some garlic powder, a nice spoonful of black pepper, touches of onion powder, some dried flat leaf parsley, chili powder, and then we're going to finish with a little flour and some salt. And we're going to call this Italian seasoning, so maybe they could forgive us. I've recently been mixing all the seasonings together before I apply them on the chicken. That way there's equal distribution across every bite. Chicken breast gets some oil, and then you already know the vibes. We season generously. Remember, if their color don't change, no flavor was gained. I'm gonna let these marinate in the fridge for a couple minutes because I want them to be nice and warm to top off the pasta. And they are on the thinner side, so they'll finish really quickly. To start off the pasta vibes, we're gonna need some fresh heartburn. I'm just gonna take off that little stem, slice it a couple times, and then just get it nice and fine like you. And I already had these prepped, but I like to chop up the onions nice and small too. At this point, I'm boiling the water so I can cook the pasta. I have a hot oven and the chicken is marinating. And I want to compile the recipe almost all at once, and I want to develop the flavor in one pan. In a medium hot pan, snuggle in the chicken. Don't twist it and turn it, once you lay them in, let them develop that beautiful crust. When they naturally peel off the pan, they're ready to flip. I'm gonna give them a couple more minutes on the other side. In the center, they're still raw. Transfer them to a baking dish. Into the oven at 350 as you work on the rest of the dish. In the same pan drippings, we're gonna go in with our white onion. Just give them a nice sweat because I do not want to feel their texture in the sauce. And you see those cute little pan drippings? I like to splash in just a little bit of stock. Deglaze and let those onions soak up all that flavor. When the onions have softened for a couple minutes, go in with the heartburn. Add in grass-fed butter so it's healthy. As soon as it melts, go in with that seasoning mix from earlier. See how the onions have turned nice and soft and they're almost like butter? That is exactly what I'm looking for. I do not want much of their texture. And now to really begin the Italian nightmare, we're gonna go in with some heavy cream. Y'all might be into that unseasoned chicken Alfredo, but mine has to have a little bit of color. Okay, so bring this up to a light bubble. When the cream starts to argue back, grate in some Parmesan cheese. If you see the cream separating and fighting for its life, that means the pan is way too hot. This is on a very nice light bubble, but it is not burning or scorching. I like to keep adding Parmesan cheese till it gets nice and thick. And this is the perfect time to test for seasoning. You wanna do it after you add the Parmesan cheese because it's very salty. Look how creamy and thick that is. Make sure you always save your pasta water. And now we go in with our al dente fettuccine. If you feel like it's getting a little bit too thick, add more pasta water. At this point, your chicken should be fully cooked through. I can't tell you exactly how much to keep them in the oven because they're gonna vary in size, but these took about 12 minutes. Always let them rest before you cut into them. I like to slice them into thin, bite-sized pieces, just because I want them easier to eat with the pasta. I like to top the pasta off with the chicken in the same pan. I just feel like it gives it a nice little rustic look. I'm gonna finish off with a little bit more cheese, because at this point, the damage has been done. Then I'm gonna finish off with fresh parsley, because we're healthy. And for record's sake, authentically speaking, Alfredo is not served with any chicken or shrimp, and it's simply 3 ingredients, which is fettuccine, the pasta water, a little butter, and Parmesan cheese. But sometimes you gotta live a little and eat this. We love both variations around here. Just everything about this pasta is so beautifully creamy. For the first bite, we gotta get a little chicken in there. And as always, bismillah. That is out of this world. It's so well seasoned, and like typical restaurants, you don't have that layer of oil that just sits on top, and everything in that bite was so flavorful. I don't know about y'all, but nothing is better than a nice pot of pasta.
This is probably one of the best things I've ever made. They're lemon pepper chicken skewers. I saw this video on TikTok and I had to give it a try. So I started off with some cubed boneless chicken thighs. I did some olive oil, lemon zest, garlic, and then a bunch of seasonings that are listed down below. You want to make sure everything is super coated, and then you're just going to stuff a bunch of those cubes onto some skewers and then put that in the air fryer basket, and you want to cook them at 400 for about 12 minutes. And then while those were cooking, I was making a little butter sauce. I started off with some butter, some lemon juice, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, some salt, pepper, a little pinch of sugar, and then I was mixing that up, and then I needed a little bit more butter because you want it to be this kind of consistency. And then once it comes out of the air fryer basket, I flip them over, cook them for another 10 minutes. After they were done, they come out super crispy. Oh, they're so good. And then while they're still hot, you want to spread on that butter sauce, and holy crap, these are amazing. You guys have to try it out, and if you do, let me know what you think.
21 million. That's how many views this garlic parm chicken and potato skillet got from my buddy Cooking in the Midwest. Starting a new series where I recreate some of my creator friends' most viral recipes, and we're going with Luke's first. I cubed up 2 large russet potatoes, hit them with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic and paprika. Gave them a toss and into the air fryer at 400 degrees for around 20 minutes. Cutting up a couple of large chicken breasts in whatever size you desire. Melted down a couple of tablespoons of butter on medium heat, and then threw that chicken in the pan along with some paprika, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. Let that chicken cook down, and then we added a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic. Instead of removing that moisture from the chicken cooking down, I left it and added that garlic parm sauce so it would give this a creamy consistency. Added those potatoes and mixed all that up. Some cheese on the top, and then we put this in the oven at 375 until that cheese had a chance to melt. I could definitely see why this got 21 million views, and we'll tag Luke in the caption so you can get the written recipe for yourself.
Today I'm going to show you how to make our new favorite dinner. It's taco rice. It's done in under 30 minutes in one skillet. Everything you love about a taco in one cheesy bowl. All you do is dice up some onion and you saute that in a nonstick skillet. You add in some lean ground beef. You can use ground turkey too. You cook that until it's done. You add in some garlic. Those are those frozen garlic cubes. I get them at Trader Joe's. Super convenient. Then you add in some taco seasoning, some salsa, some long grain white rice. Probably could use brown too. I just like white. Then some chicken broth. You stir it, bring it to a boil, and then cover it and let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes until the rice is absorbed all of that liquid and it's tender. This is how it's going to look. You give that a quick stir. I've chopped up some cilantro. On the side, you're going to add that in now. I use a cup. I love cilantro. You can add as much or as little as you want. You stir that in, and then you add in some grated cheese. Stir that in too. I forgot to show you guys that I also put some more cheese on top of this. but that's totally up to you. Once you get that cheese in, you put the lid on, let it sit for a few minutes, and then this is how it looks. It is everything you love about a taco. Pop that into a bowl, top it with tortilla chips, guacamole, sour cream, all of your favorite toppings. So good.
This is the recipe that got me to love shrimp. The shrimp is battered, fried to crispy golden perfection, and then tossed in a delicious sweet and spicy volcano sauce. To a saucepan, combine buffalo sauce, brown sugar, honey, garlic, and rice vinegar. Once it thickens, we'll add some butter, parsley, and red pepper flakes, and then set that aside. Now we'll make our wet batter. It's just eggs, salt, and black pepper, and then for the dry batter, salt and pepper, as well as cornstarch. Dip the shrimp first in the wet batter, then into the dry, and shake it all around until they're all fully coated. Now get some oil nice and hot and fry the shrimps until they're beautifully golden and crispy just like this. Toss in the sauce, serve over a bed of rice with some green onions, and all that's left to do now is enjoy.